Not the cars, not the clothes, not the boats, not the fancy parties, not the traveling, but the key. The key that can unlock. As the societies and civilizations grew stronger, the role that money plays in our lives became even more important than we ever could have imagined. Money is a very important topic, and I'm not trying to be a business guru here, yet at least, but I wanted to discuss the psychological impact that money makes on us in everyday life. Money is just a placeholder that we use in exchange for products and services. It represents a function of time and value that you create for others in your community. And as of today, going more towards globalism, creating value around the world. Everyone wants to become well off, whether they want to admit it or not. Especially today when we're constantly connected to internet, through social media, and we see how others live their lives, how others spend their money, and a human nature being highly addictive. We become envious and we want to experience similar stuff because money breeds status. Money creates admiration within your peers. And we all know why. Money is power, and power attracts a lot of human attention. The only difference between people is the amount of distance they are ready to travel, to go, in order to get that money. And to become well off, you have to sacrifice a lot of things in life. For many, becoming well off, becoming rich and wealthy, is a type of compensation that you crave for because you didn't have it in your past life, whether in childhood or later teens, trying to tap that emotional void of always struggling. That is a consequence of going through a traumatic experience. You want to do everything in order to not experience it once more. For others, money can be a way of proving your self-worth. We're highly social creatures and we want others to like us. And getting your papers right is a way of signaling outwardly that you are somebody, that you are made. Regardless how you get there, regardless of your professional occupation, the amount of money on your bank account is equal the value that you create for others, which means status, which means social proof. My personal experience with money, or better, the influential power that it grants to you, was during my teenage years. I was going to a quite popular school where all rich kids hang out, children of politicians and ministers, and I was feeling this sense of awe, how everyone else liked them and admired them and wanted to be their friends. Those experiences gave me this realization that I have to do everything in my power in order to become them. The life was easy for them. They had personal drivers, they had parents' bank accounts at their disposal. They were attending popular parties. And I was envious. I wanted to compensate for that. And later on, that was one of my main driving factors to become successful, to become well off. Not that we were poor or anything, but I wanted more. I wanted that admiration. I wanted that status. Time passed by, and later on in life, I experienced that poverty that I was talking about. My family moved to another country in Europe, and we were struggling for several years. And I once again understood the power of money. I was thinking for myself, if we just had enough of it, we wouldn't go through all these struggles, through all these hardships, so that we can create a new life. Of course, looking back now, I understand that those hardships shape your character and is important in your own personal development. So my main goal was to attend a prestigious university, graduate, get a good job, and climb up the career ladder, become somebody, become well off. And the funny thing is, it didn't take a lot of time until I got a reality check. I understood that it's not feasible to pursue something out of chase for money. I understood that happiness cannot be bought with money because it's priceless, because it's an emotion. And as we know, no amount of money can buy an emotion. And you know why? The day someone will be able to contain and package a feeling, an emotion, will be one of the biggest steps for the humanity. If you are selling emotions in a tiny pill, you are the wealthiest person in the world. And no, Mary Jane doesn't count. Hold up. Hey. It's very interesting to observe how development of civilizations has made people even more materialistic and success hungry, because the face of success is everywhere It's very accessible. As long as you have one of these, and let's face it, most of us do. By the flip of your fingers, you can drift away in your thoughts and fantasize a picture of you being on the top of the mountain of success, just by mere comparison with others. It's no legend anymore, it's not a myth. Even people in poor countries have access to smartphones, the ways of feeling bad about themselves even more. Human consciousness has evolved very much, but the disparity between different social groups has increased tremendously. It's like social classes. We're richer than ever before, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who are hungry and don't have any food on their tables. What I'm trying to say is that more people are spiritually awakened into reality, and at the same time more people are oblivious what life is about because they are digitally distracted. Money is an important subject because poverty doesn't favor anyone. But unfortunately, there's a huge lack of understanding of how to earn them, on why we have to earn them, and the most important thing, the end goal of earning them. Where does it lead us? Becoming rich, becoming well off, becoming totally independent. Money is a substitute for hunting, gathering, having roof over your head, surviving basically. But the biggest difference that we're experiencing now, that our ancestors didn't have to hunt every single day. We spent major part of our days in earning money, on scheduling around and doing that actual work. The trade-off is huge. We lose a precious time that we have in this life, which is the most important equity that we have. And it wasn't like that before. Time is valuable because it's scarce. And the ideal situation, of course, is to own your time and ultimately, by the same token, eradicate the notion of it. Let me explain. Eliminating time as a tool to wake up at a certain time, to go to the gym and have a workout session between 30 and 60 minutes. Then go, take a shower and put your clothes on. Make yourself to look proper for upcoming day in a 15 minutes. Go to work for between 8 to 12 hours. Pick up your children at a certain time. And so on and so on and so forth. We're always, constantly operating according time slots, which is the opposite of regaining happiness and joy. So eliminating time is one of the most efficient ways of achieving happiness and that joy, which is, unfortunately, is a very luxurious and rare possibility. But there is a way. Money, money, money! Money won't buy you happiness by acquiring different gadgets, clothes, traveling tickets, or even a Russian caviar. What it can do is to buy you time. The more money you have, the more of your time you will own. It becomes this constant battle of presence and thought. Presence releases stress, makes you content, satisfied, grants you peace of mind. But at the same time, too much of it, without any financial backing, creates stress over bills that have to be paid in due time. Stress over providing for people that count on you. Thought helps you to envision, strategize, to plan, and follow a specific direction to reach your goals, to acquire knowledge that you need in order to get there. But invite the thought into your brain is to open the Pandora's box, making it easier for stress and mental issues to arise. It's like you put your guard down as soon as you start thinking and stop being present. And the key is to find that sweet spot where you can balance between being and thinking. It's a gracious dance for you to not get crazy, for you to not be blinded by the chase, for you to understand why you are doing the things you do, and always remind yourself the end goal, the purpose, the deeper meaning of your journey. Because if you don't do that, the burnout is becoming you. This is something that I experienced myself, wanting to take a step back and enjoy the presence. But hey, consistency keeps knocking on my door because there's too much competition for me to slack, for me to back off, for me to take it easy. And I couldn't call myself the hardest worker in the world because that's not what I'm trying to achieve here. Because I'm trying to keep my sanity intact. Because I want the truth of life, which won't be acquired in materials of this world. Well, there you have it. Any thoughts, suggestions? You know the drill. And keep in mind, money won't buy you happiness, but they will then surely buy the time for you to find it within. Hossein out.